Hello, welcome to this portion of your skill. My name is Malachi. Today I'm going to be demonstrating female pericure with hand washing. The supplies we need to demonstrate this skill is one water basin, some soap, a waterproof pad, 6 small washcloths, and a pair of gloves. Hello, Mrs. Jones. My name is Malachi. I'm going to be your CNA today. I'm going to be providing pericure. I'm going to set up my supplies on your table if that is okay. Performing hand hygiene, rubbing all surfaces until dry. Okay, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to be pulling the privacy curtain. I am going to be now going and collecting some warm water.
Start.
Coming over to the sink, I'm going to fill up the basin about a quarter of the way with comfortably warm water. I am going to test the water to make sure it is a comfortable working temperature.
Go.
Coming back into the room, I'm going to introduce myself to Mrs. Jones again. Okay, Mrs. Jones, I'm back with the water. I'm now going to put on my gloves and start assisting in doing your pericure. We should pull the bed sheets back. And then I'm going to lift the bed up to a comfortable working height. I will then pull up Mrs. Jones' gown to only expose the perineal area. Test observer, I made a mistake. Coming back, hello Mrs. Jones, I'm back with the water. I'm now going to put on my gloves and prepare to do pericure. So Mrs. Jones, I'm going to pull down the blankets. Test observer, if you could come and stand on this side of the bed for safety, I need to put the waterproof pad underneath Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones, I'm going to turn you carefully onto your side. I'm going to have my pad. Roll it up and put it under you. Okay, Mrs. Jones, you might roll over a little bit of a bump. I'm going to just turn you a little bit this way, and we'll have the pad all good. Okay, test observer. Good. Then we're going to pull up the resident's gown and only expose the peri area. I'm now going to get my first washcloth wet, and I am going to put soap on the corners. I am now going to, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to spread your labia, and I'm going to clean from top to bottom down the right side of the labia. Then spreading the labia again, I'm going to clean from top to bottom down the opposite side of the labia. I'm now going to clean from top to bottom down the center. Okay, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to now dispose of my rag into the wastebasket. Then getting a new rag, I'm going to rinse Mrs. Jones, spreading the labia again from top to bottom down the right side. From a new clean portion, top to bottom down the left side of the labia, and then from top to bottom and down the center. Okay, now I'm going to dry the area, Mrs. Jones, and I'm going to cover you back up. Test observer, would you mind coming over and standing by the bed for safety? Okay, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to turn you on your side, okay? Then I'm going to expose the rectal area. I'm going to get another washcloth. And I'm going to make sure that it is soapy. I'm going to clean from the vaginal to rectal area one time with a soapy washcloth. I'll dispose of it in the linen basket. I'm now going to rinse from the vaginal to rectal area one time. And then using my last rag, I will make sure to dry the area. Then, while the RN test observer is still here, I'm going to remove the waterproof pad. Okay. Mrs. Jones, you're going to go over a little lump. I remove the waterproof pad and I place it in the hamper. Mrs. Jones, do you need anything? Okay, so I'm going to make sure that she's all covered up again and comfortable. Mrs. Jones, I'm going to make sure that you have your call light and that your water is within reach. I'm now going to go empty my water basin and rinse my supplies, but first I must lower the bed. Mrs. Jones, would it be a little bit more comfortable to have your head raised? Okay, I will be right back to finish up closing steps with you, Mrs. Jones. Okay, so now we are going to rinse our equipment and put our water basin away. So I'm going to empty it out, make sure it's all rinsed. I'm going to make sure it is thoroughly dried. And I will then go place it back where I got my equipment from. Now I'm coming back, I'm going to demonstrate hand washing, which is also part of the skill. Make sure that the RN test observer can visibly see you washing your hands. So I'm going to remove gloves the proper way and dispose of them in the trash can. I am then going to turn on the water and make sure that it is a comfortable temperature. I will wet my hands first. I am then going to apply soap and scrub the surfaces of my hands for 20 seconds. I'm going to make sure that I interlace my fingers together, rubbing all surfaces thoroughly for 20 seconds. With my fingers pointing downwards, I am going to rinse my hands from the soap, making sure that I rub all surfaces and get them clean. I am also making sure that I do not touch the sink at any time during this process. Then, without touching the dispenser, I am going to make sure that I get a paper towel. After I get my hands dried using the dirty rag, I will get another towel. I'm going to make sure that my hands are completely dried. Then, using a new dry towel, I am going to turn off my water. We are now going to return to Mrs. Jones and make sure all the steps are finished. Okay, Mrs. Jones, I am back. I'm just going to make sure you're all comfortable. You have your call light, your water within reach. Do you need anything else, Mrs. Jones? Now I'm going to end the task. Test observer in task.